where can you find the world's most famous nightlife district, some of the best shopping in Asia, excellent food options, a jewelry manufacturing hub, some really weird temples, and a whole lot more. Well, Silom Road in Bangkok. Let's have a look. Silom Road starts at the corner of Charoen Krung Road and goes all the way down to Rama 4 Road. We're going to have a look at the whole length of it today. And Silom Road was constructed in the 1860s because basically the foreigners who had businesses down on Charoen Krung Road, where we started, needed a good road to do their business. And a landmark is the Sirocco Sky Bar on this, I think it's called the State Tower, and that's at the beginning of Silom Road. But we're going to do the whole road today, but we're going to be in particular checking out the highlights. So there are a lot of hotels around. There's the Hilton here, and it's a popular road these days still with Europeans who travel through the region. So you've got tons of restaurants, and it's one of the main kind of centers, one of the main lively neighborhoods of Bangkok. Got a smoking place there for those that way inclined. So as you can see, Holiday Inn down here. Now this area we're coming into is known as a jewelry manufacturing hub. So you start to see some jewelry shops along here. And there's actually a massive jewelry manufacturing center just coming up, which we're going to have a look at in a minute. And tailor shops, these kind of things, catering to travelers. Let's jump down the road a little bit and we'll keep talking about it. When Silom Road was initially laid down, they dug a canal along here to use the dirt to build up the roadway, as well as to provide a waterborne mode of transportation. Nowadays you've got every kind of transportation at different points along the way. There's a BTS line further down, subway system you can say. But right now we're just checking this part, which is a little bit of a jewelry district, as I said. But also you can buy clothes around here and all kinds of stuff, and you've got the ubiquitous annoying tuk-tuk drivers who are gonna try to harass you to go anywhere but here with them. Because if you're a foreigner, there's no way that you're gonna be just walking where you're walking, right? You must be going somewhere else. Jewelry Trade Center Bangkok. Yet another of these jewelry type places around here. Quite a good bus system along here these days. Good covered bus stops. And plenty of taxis, of course, around. So when they had the canal built and they put the road down, after a few decades they put in a tram line along this road, which would have been lovely. Most of the road was agricultural in those days, with some plantations and some nice big old houses, and you can still see some old buildings around here. Starbucks likes to pick the nice buildings in every city where they set up their business, but most of it these days is quite modern. So it would have been quite bucolic back in the day, with some colonial mansions, quite a lot of green space, an old tram line and a canal running along the middle of the road here. It's changed. It's quite busy these days. And there's, like I said at the beginning of the video, there's a nightlife area along Silom Road as well. And we're going to come up to that in a little bit, and we'll say more about that once we come up there. But you can, sorry, you can feel that the vibe starts to go that way a little bit already. Hello. Some nice old shop houses tucked away. So the side streets along Silom Road, some of the side streets have some very interesting neighborhoods, and we'll be definitely having a look at the most interesting ones along the way here as well, and talk about those a bit. So if you've seen my Charoen Krung episode, then you should know a little bit about the history of the area. And this area basically grew out of that area and became a kind of expanded European zone in Bangkok. And this area here, this shopping area here, this is a really great area to buy some kind of tourist type kind of things to remember your visit to Bangkok, for example. So it's really, even these days, it's still set up as a foreigner zone. So like I said, the road was put down in the 1860s, and before that there was a tourist area along Charoen Krung Road, which it pretty much just expanded down this road, and today it's still very lively. So you might get an ache in your body when you're doing a lot of walking. If you're a foreigner around here, you can always have someone to take care of that. Just across the street you can see Wat Kek. It means the Black Temple, I would say, because it's an Indian Hindu temple, and Thai people like to call Indian people black, which is what Kek means in Thai. And on this side of the road down here there's a mosque. So this is a little bit of an Indian neighborhood along here. There's some good food along here as well. Definitely recommend it. But let's keep on heading along Silom Road a bit further and we'll check out some more stuff. So I've heard, well, from reading reviews on Google Maps, about the Wat Kek temple. A lot of people from India complained about the staff there, and I won't say more. You can check it yourself and see what you think about that. But let's continue to head down a bit. There are several very old Chinese graveyards along this stretch of Silom Road, which you wouldn't know about if you didn't live here for a long time. And another artifact from Chinese culture back here. So most foreigners walk past this stuff, they don't even notice it because you have to try to look over fences. And another kind of mausoleum looking one here. So there are many remnants of old Bangkok tucked away between some of the newer buildings, but you have to really have your eyes peeled to spot them. This one, quite old, obviously, been repurposed as a pretty nice street art location. So we're just ducking into Silom Soi 9. It's about almost halfway down Silom Road. There's this very cool Chinese kind of graveyard area here, which most foreigners never know about, never stumble upon. But it's quite a lovely, tranquil spot to get a bit of peace and quiet in the middle of a very busy area. So this place, it's a pretty special place, and yeah, normally you need to spend a number of years in Bangkok before you find out about this spot actually. Yeah, it's a very strange place in here. Bit of Chinese culture here, of course, because we got the Chinese graveyards along this stretch, and quite an interesting looking little shopping center in here. Pretty spacey looking, with a more modern construction behind there. Very famous Mahanakhon building, Silom Plaza. Definitely some kind of weird 70s moon-based vibe going on. Behind the bus there's another Indian type restaurant, or Pakistani one. It's called Lahore. It's got the kind of name that you might think should be down by the Nightlife district up here, but actually Lahore is a city in Pakistan. Nothing to do with nightlife, guys. Tourism information booth here closed, of course, which they 99% of the time seem to always be closed in Bangkok. But now we've done half of Silom Road already, so we're up to the halfway point here. This road has a long name, hard to pronounce, I won't try, but there's a canal here, and very interesting road starts at the next corner, which we've covered before, which is Surawong Road. You might have seen the Surawong Road episode, and it goes down to Sathorn Road, which we hope to cover in the future, and it goes all the way down to where the Chao Praya River bends around further down. It's an interesting area down this road. But anyway, let's keep going along Silom Road now. So they've actually renovated the canal area in this midway point along Silom Road, which is quite nice. They've made a kind of a little bit of a park area. We'll just scramble across the crosswalk because the traffic can be heinous around here. Interesting looking Chinese style restaurant down there. Chong Non Si just down the next corner on Charoen Road. That's an amazing area. Very modern business area, and we hope to talk about that in the future. All right, let's keep going down Silom Road. We're coming up to some very interesting parts. Now we've got the BTS Sky Train following this part of Silom Road, and we're coming into a part of Silom Road that has some of the best shopping in Asia. Lots of tall buildings along this part, and it's pretty exciting, as well as the most famous nightlife area in the world, probably still these days even, although it's got a bit of competition, but we'll talk about that in a bit. The headquarters branch of Bangkok Bank. This was built in the 1980s, and the architecture style is very modern. As you can see, it's considered to be a bit of a landmark along this part of Silom Road. There are still some airline offices and ticket booking agencies around this neighborhood, and that's one of the kind of businesses that put this place on the map. A lot of embassies and consulates still around here. Very international, everything the foreigner needs, even these days. Can even take a leak here if you need to. So I wouldn't recommend doing that unless you're Thai, otherwise you'll probably get at least 1,000 baht fine. If you're Thai, it might be alright. But now some of the side streets on the left side of Silom Road start to have massage places with more suggestive names as we start to get closer to the nightlife area. And it's quite interesting. It's very business-like along here, and some amazing shopping as well, and like I said, nightlife, which we'll talk more about that in a minute, but it's all kind of side by side. Of course, if you don't want to pay for massage, you can always do it yourself. Maybe that's what that guy was doing back there. All right, you've seen the signs along the way, and like I said, we're getting close to the world's most famous nightlife area, Pat Pong, of course. Pat Pong in Bangkok. We're not going to look in here now, guys. Sorry to disappoint you. They're setting up the night market, and Pat Pong deserves its own episode, so that'll be coming up at some point, as well as checking out the surrounding streets around Pat Pong, which have their own names and their own vibes, and they're famous for different types of nightlife as well. Of course, you know Bangkok is very famous for wild nightlife, but is it still the capital of nightlife, Pat Pong? There are several areas in Bangkok with this kind of risque nightlife, and they can really give Pat Pong a run for its money, and they've grown more popular with a lot of people. But yeah, Pat Pong has history on its side, so it's maybe still the more well-known one. But yeah, some of these other little streets around here, you could say, are part of the same entertainment district, nightlife district as well. Seems to be where a lot of the boys hang out around here. And yeah, this street on the left, Silom Soi 4, it's a bit of a boy zone for the boys who like to hang out with other boys. But we'll talk more about that in the future as well. Anyway, not from personal experience, but yeah, but that's all right. We'll find some other people who maybe want to comment on that. And if you want to comment on that, you're always welcome to in the comments section, guys and gals. Here's one of the new constructions, one of the new erections in Bangkok, Park Silom. And this one is very impressive, super new, really nice, very tall building here, which I think we cannot see the top because of the sky train cutting it off, but very nice one. So if you want a red hot tip, when they have Songkran in Thailand, the water splashing festival, come to Silom Road right here outside the BTS SkyTrain station. Saladang is called, and along here is the craziest party in Thailand. And when I say hot tip, I'm not talking about the boy zone over there at all, that's for sure, right? But this is the corner of Convent Road here, guys, and some good food here in the afternoons, and we're gonna have a look down here. As promised, we're gonna have a look at Convent Road a little bit. It's really one arm of Silom Road, one of the old parts that's very colorful. Let's have a wee peek. So Convent Road, just back on Silom Road on the other side of Silom Road, we saw Pat Pong where the naughty girls hang out. Well, Convent Road actually does have a convent where the good girls hang out, I guess, but you can't see them because they're behind closed doors, behind walls. But yeah, if you're good at climbing, you might have a peek after midnight at some point, right? So it's very much a foreigner-oriented street along here. Of course, religious groups paid for a lot of stuff here. There are educational institutes, and one of the most famous hospitals in Bangkok is just up here on the left. So you have a lot of things that foreigners need. And if you head to the end of the street here, we've got Charoen Road, and if you cross that one, which is a major business artery, go in the streets behind there, and you've got the old backpacker area around the Malaysia Hotel, which we might talk about in a future episode as well. But that was an old backpacker area in the 60s and 70s before it moved over to Khao San Road, where it is these days, and where it's been, I guess, pretty much since the 80s. But let's head back out onto Silom Road. Let's just take a look at the new building I was talking about, because it's really a nice one. Let's take a little look. Okay, pretty nice, very plush, everything very shiny and new. Okay, this is the kind of place in Bangkok where you're going to pay the same prices, or maybe even more, than you would in the West. And so yeah, if you want the Western treats, you're gonna pay through the nose for those, which for me kind of defeats the whole purpose of coming to this part of the world, to be honest, because yeah, I definitely like to indulge in the special things from the place where I visit when I travel, not to try to get something I miss from home, right? Seems to be a little bit like self-defeating if you're gonna travel like that, unless you're a millionaire. And if you are a millionaire, you should be hitting that buy me a coffee link, guys. Come on, support the channel a little bit. We're running on fumes here, guys. Come on now. Don't know how long I can keep it going. Come on, guys. But yeah, plenty of coffee in here. Just need the buy me a coffee donations, guys. Waiting for you guys. I believe in you. I believe in you. Come on, guys. Come on. Because we're keeping it real here. So if you've been following this channel, I think you might notice the kind of content we've got here is practical content. It's about now. And when we talk about the past, it's about how it impacts now. So we're not a history channel, but we mention a lot about the past. And basically, yeah, if you want history, there are really great channels like Bangkok Pat, for example. Different channels focus on different aspects, right? So we don't talk about in 1832 Mr. Somchai bought this bit of land and then gave it to his grandson who built a mango farm, and we don't go into that kind of detail, right? We want to tell you guys what affects you now. So I've had almost a quarter of a century experience in Bangkok up to now, and I've actually walked every single street of Bangkok between Bang Na Trat Road and about where the Nonthaburi border is, and all the way to the ring road in Thonburi, even way out there, believe it or not, over many years. And there might not be another foreigner who's walked as many of the streets of Bangkok as I have. So you know, I know most of the ins and outs that a foreigner might want to know. And that's what the channel is all about, guys, you know. So I'm basically just trying to help out travelers, because it is the kind of place in the world where if you don't know your piece from your cues or whatever, you could come unstuck. You might have a hard time. So anyway, we're up on the skywalk in the BTS station where you can cross over here. In Silom, this is Saladang station. Down here you've got the what they call the Japanese soy Tanaya, Japanese nightlife soy. We'll cover that in the future with Pat Pong, with this whole area as a nightlife episode. So you've got a legion of Johnny come latelys who've had 4 months in Thailand with their channel and telling you they're an expert or trying to put themselves across as an expert. And you do have some good channels, like as I mentioned already, some of them that are some of my favorite channels as well. But yeah, a lot of stuff I would say doesn't really make the scratch, but they seem to get a lot of views for some strange reason, a lot of followers. Why is it like that, right? And then a channel like my one is, you know, pretty small still. Well, it's the algorithm, guys. You know, they're spying on everything you do. They know what kind of person you are. They know if you're the kind of person who talks about the awkward subjects that the establishment would rather not have you talk about. And they know if you're one of the rose-colored glasses brigade who talks a lot of bollocks, basically. Or if you fit into a certain demographic that they want to promote, this kind of thing. So that's how it goes, guys. So I don't fit into a special demographic that gets promoting, and I do happen to tell the truth that makes a lot of powerful people uncomfortable sometimes. Not like I go overboard with it, but still they do pick up on these things, guys. So that's how it works, unfortunately. And even then, of course, their algorithm is not perfect, is it? So anyway, here's another great shopping center over here, Central. It's definitely a good one. These are not gigantic shopping centers along here, but they are quite interesting ones. So you can jump across with the skywalk there. Hello. You can jump across and get in and out of these places with the aircon. Have a look on the nightlife streets if you want to see a bit of colorful stuff. Plenty of little cafes. We've got the smoke places there. The stuff for the boys and girls to be a bit naughty. Lots of good places to eat. And you've got the good public transport system here, and buses and all kinds of stuff. Rip-off tuk-tuks and probably not very good taxi drivers. I'll tell you, you don't want to be taking taxis around here unless you want to be overcharged, guys, or hit in the head with something. But maybe it works out for you. You know, your mileage may vary, as they say. But yeah, still got backpackers coming in here these days, guys. Let's get back across the other side of Silom Road. And we're coming up to a very colorful corner with some nice old fragments of Bangkok here. This is the corner of Saladang Road. And skywalk going along here. There's also an MRT station called Silom just under the corner of the skywalk up here. But let's have a quick look in Saladang Road. So it's got some nice old buildings here, as you can see on the corner, and nice bits of food and places to grab a drink down here as well. And looking a little bit deeper into the street here, there's some pretty interesting history as well. So some of you all might have seen the mini-series The Serpent, about the half Indian, half French serial killer Chao Praya, who hunted a lot of backpackers in the 60s and 70s in particular. Killed a lot of people basically to get their money. He lived down this street on one of the little streets on the left, just a little bit down here. But that building's gone now, so there's nothing to really show you there. But this street is still very interesting and colorful. So it's definitely worth having a wee peek. All right, back out on Silom Road. Now we're coming near the end of the road. This shopping center across here, very nice as you can see, was under renovation for years. And they got it finished finally, and it's a really lively spot right on the corner of Silom Road where it ends up here where there's the Thai-Japanese bridge on Rama 4. And across the corner there is Lumpini Park. And I'll tell you now about how Silom got its name as we come up to Silom MRT station, and also to this place called Central Park, which is quite interesting. This is a new place that just opened on the site of the old Dusit Thani Hotel, which was the first I guess you could say high-rise building in Bangkok, and we'll talk about that in a minute as well. But well, the rain started falling, but just in time I got undercover at the MRT station, and Lumpini Park's just over here. So there used to be a train line that came here, the first train line in Thailand that used to go out to Pak Nam down by the sea, coming out from the center of the old part of Bangkok. And there was a station here called Saladang, which means Red Pavilion. This was an old train station. So I guess that's what they've named the BTS station after. But the MRT station here is named Silom, which I think they should just join it all as one big thing. It makes more sense, really. Not many people would know why they named the BTS station Saladang, and a lot of foreigners get very confused, especially with the MRT station right next to it called Silom. Silom is, of course, really well known. Saladang, not so much. All right, so heading back up onto the skywalk, guys, and let's have a little peek in this new place here, Central Park. It's got condominiums, it's got offices, and it's got a lot of shopping. It's supposed to be really cool. Okay, my first time having a look in here. Let's see how it goes. Okay. Cafe right by the door, could be handy. So you can see Bangkok really these days is the place where you can spend a whole ton of money, fashion designer stuff, or you can be like the old school backpacker style. Some restrooms right by the door, that's handy. So just coming in off the skywalk, and so far the layout looks pretty sensible, unlike a lot of the shopping centers in Bangkok. But hello, how are you? You speak English? How long has this place been open?
Like 1.5.
Oh, so long now. Oh, that's cool. How long you worked here?
Just 1 week.
Really? And you like it?
It's okay.
Cool. This is really a modern Bangkok, eh? Are you a modern Bangkok girl, eh?
No.
No, you're old style, traditional. All right, good. Me too. Bye-bye. Bye. All right, isn't that lovely? Right. So all kinds of stuff in here, depending on whatever you're looking for. Hello, miss. Do you like this shop? Ah, okay, thanks a lot. What do you think, guys? Do I need this for my channel? This is what we're lacking, right? A little bit of bling. Well, they've even got a Victoria's Secret in here, isn't that nice? I bet I can guess what that tall person's secret is, and we will say no more about that. Hello, you think Silom is very good shopping? Very good. Ah, it's good to know. Thanks a lot. Hello.
Hi.
You think Silom is good shopping, or?
I think so.
So. Ah, okay, good to know. Thanks a lot. Silom is good shopping, yeah? Okay, thanks. Hello, miss.
Yeah, hello.
What's your name?
My name is Chao.
Oh, nice to meet you. My name is Joe.
Very nice to meet you too.
Do you think Silom is good for shopping?
Yes, I think good because we have many for the shopping mall and Silom. We have the Central Park and we also have the Silom Complex and Silom H2. And you can use for the Skytrain to go to the Siam, only
Cool.
2 stations.
True, it's close to the other shopping areas.
Yes.
Easy to go between.
Yes.
Nice, thanks a lot. Hello. Is Silom good for shopping?
Yeah.
You like it? Ah, that's cool. And your dog likes it?
Very lovely.
Oh, loves it. All right, there you go, guys. So Silom is one of the best places in Bangkok, and if you haven't checked it out yet, you got to check it. And if you have, I hope I've shown you some things you didn't know about in this episode of Secret of the Way. So drop us a comment, hit like and subscribe and all that stuff. And if you could hit the Buy Me a Coffee link or support us direct through YouTube, that'd be really awesome, guys. We'll see you in the next one, and don't be late.